Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash. Double honors to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. This Rob Amar for the Nebraska camp. This is GMS, any push in the mark, any for Nebraska. Wanted to go over just being consistent in your word, because there's a situation going on right now with Sicarii. At the end of the day, you get, instead of addressing the issue, you get Jake demonizing and doing things. And so once you start once you bring it up and you're being, malicious, okay, then the truth start coming out, okay? Because again, truth is above all. And so he'll say things such as pursuant to from his understanding with the what doctrine, and the brothers the great doctrine. So for lack of better words, that has been circling around the 2000 thing, but the main thing we're speaking on is the grape situation, because pretty much he changed it like the moon, okay? And that's off as hell, all right? At the end of the day, especially when these are doctrinal standards, okay? Can't just, play like you're not on that side. Matter of fact, see here. Salakia, because I want to bring up this account with Paul, in reference to Peter. It says, but when Peter was coming to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles, but when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision. So at the end of the day, it's a negative connotation to change like that, all right? And perpetuate that you're on one side and you're on the other side. It's like, nah, man, you got to be checked, okay? And that's what happens, all right? And if you don't acknowledge it, then pretty much the Lord gonna had a spirit to come down on you and all the rebuke, and it's not like it's a threat, or it's just what we are set at the fence of the gospel. So there's things that have to be, the record has to be set straight, and at the end of the day, look, bro, people do whole shit, bro. So it's like, what I'm saying, just repent, move along, set the record straight, and then move along. But Jake ain't gonna do that. It's too much. They set this the standard of pride up, man. But again, Galatians chapter 2 and 11 says, but when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. Because again, Peter was one of the first to speak to the Gentiles through Cornelius, because Cornelius is an Israelite, and he was one of the first to repent. But through Paul, was more of the he was the one of the pillars, and that approval came through Peter. But continuing on, the point is that he was doing something that was edgy, and pretty much speaking to the Gentiles and teaching the Gentiles is edgy according to the gospel, because that was like a new thing. Not only Yahweh Shai, but people, the people that the priests and everything, they believed. Okay, they knew Yahweh Shai was coming. They'll tell you with the when they seen a star in the sky and Herod and everything, they knew Yahweh Shai was coming then. How? Be it through the scriptures. Okay? So they knew these prophecies and, seeing certain things being fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So that was already like, it takes some intricate faith, but it's not a far cry, right? But the Gentile thing was unheard of, okay? But when you really get into the grand scheme of it, that's what ultimately Yahweh Shai was coming to do, going into the natural branch and the regular branch, okay? Was to make room. The natural branch had to be pushed to the side and make room for the grafted in branch, all right, being the Gentiles, Israelites in the Gentile state of mind, all right. So pretty much the ones that kept the laws had to deviate to a point that it made an opening to let the Israelites that wanted back in, and through the blood of Yahushua that was able to be happen. But the point is that wasn't truly understood. It was just like, oh, this is the Messiah. He's going to get us out this situation. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, but I'm going to get all us out this situation. I'm going to get the elect, all right? And the elect was is on both sides. They were on the grafted in side and the natural branch side, all right? But the point is that, this was understood, but yet to the masses. So when Peter was teaching it, he did what Yahushua told him, going to the quotes, eat the unclean, and not, and he once spoke to Cornelius, and then, Paul, of course, came out the gate doing that, traveling through Greece and Rome, preaching the gospel, all right? And Paul just came out the gate, and Peter was the first person to do it, even though Peter was teaching before that, but he was, the Cornelius thing happened after, Yahushua and everything. So, Peter's already in Israel teaching. So again, by this happening after, Peter was the first person to do it. Pretty much led the charge, but Paul took over the charge, took the torch, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai, and he was the leader of the Gentiles, or the apostle to the Gentiles. Okay, so and to prove that, we'll go into Romans 11 and 13. It says, "For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify my office." Right. So pretty much, I'm saying this because you got to understand the mindset. All right, Peter went over there a little bit. All right, but Paul that's where he was raised. All right, so knowing that Peter started and opened up the franchise, and you gave it to Paul. Paul did his thing, and now you're acting like you don't know us. It's like, nah, that has to be addressed, because that's, you're gonna bottleneck this faith in a way. All right, because Peter is the access point to a lot of people's faith. Even though Yahushua is, you got to think about if Yahushua was rolling with Peter, or Peter was rolling with Yahushua, then what would that make Peter after Yahushua is gone? All right, so and for whatever Peter does, and that's where you get this like Pope concept, which it really wasn't that the Lord set up judges, but it really wasn't any judges outside of the elect, but in this time we're just set up to prophesy and prophesy destruction in the kingdoms, and this is I digress, but through the Spirit, this is why we're here, because he's not going according to the will of the Heavenly Father, man. He's falling into this money. Okay, that's just me speculating, but something's been compromised, because the prophets have prophesied against countries and many kingdoms. We always been a doomsday prophet. That's why prophets come to tell you about the doomsday. That's our job. Our number one job is to do that, and then gather everybody to go, because at the end of the day, the Lord's will be done. Okay, and all we're doing is blowing the trumpet and telling people how to prepare, that are worthy of the Lord's bidding, and the people that are worthy are the Israelites. You know, so all you gotta do is just tell all the Israelites how to get ready, and the ones that are of the elect gonna listen. All right, they ain't about the laws. It's about having a mentality of getting ready, because a lot of these guys keep the laws and are not mentally and spiritually uh, fitting themselves for salvation. They think that they can be an Israelite in this society to prove to Esau that they can coexist, or something like that. You know, being a supervisor at a factory, and you got your fringes, and you talking to Paul, and then you meet this person, and come on now, man. Look here, man. You teach the truth on the highways and byways. All right, you put up your videos, and the people wake up. All right, but let's get back to this situation at hand. In Romans chapter 1, and I want to go into 31. So I want to go into the word, and it says, without understanding, covenant breakers. Okay, and the reason why I want to go into covenant breakers, because they're breaking doctrine. They're going against, the Lord's will, because ultimately all this is a covenant. This is how you handle things. Okay, we're under a covenant. All right, these are things we agree to. All right. It says, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. And the thing is that when Simeon and Levi's sister had got great, for lack of better words, she when that happened, Simeon and Levi took revenge. Okay. But that was showing and displaying that will leave you bitter. But at the same time, what did Israel do? He didn't take it like we're jumping for joy. He say, okay, this is the route we have to take based off the covenant we made. All right, that's like, you gotta, this is what goes over Jake's head, like, and they try to make it as though we're inciting this. And it's no, we're just reciting the law. Just like if Esau, you got the KKK assembling, and then these dudes paid their permits to be out there, and through the law they weave their way to be out there to do their speech, and you want them to leave, and the police like, man, I'm sorry, they do it to be out here to do what they're doing, Yeah, same as with this law. It's like, we're not out here, yeah, we about to go and do. No, bro. That's a situation, a circumstance, and the cause and effect. But again, this is not about that. Because it's not about understanding. This is about sensationalism. This thing has turned into a money thing for some of these guys, and they've been corrupted. Okay, and through that corruption, it's going to show eventually, and mainly through doctrine, because you can't keep this doctrine unpure. I mean, keep this doctrine pure, and at the same time, try and go and get that bread, or be compromised through Esau's system. Okay, your words can't be compromised as a prophet. You can't. The prophets of Babylon, who was prophesying the downfall of Israel, okay, was telling the king exactly what needed to be said. Even to Nebuchadnezzar, he told Nebuchadnezzar exactly, this is what you're going to do. This is what's going to happen to you. All right. Like, this is, so that whole concept of you're not the prophets of doom, you know Jay going to jump on you behind that, man. Because if you're a man of the Lord, consider it as love. But, Jay going to rebel, man. All right. He's already rebelling, but let's get to it. It says, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affections, implacable, unmerciful. You want to go into that word, implacable. Let's see here. That's Romans 1 and 31. Slack, I lost my place real quick. Let me get it back. So in Romans 1 and 31, the word implacable goes to without a treaty or covenant of things not mutually agreed upon, abstinences from hostilities that cannot be persuaded to enter into a covenant, implacable. And this is what Sicarii is all about. They're implacable. All right, they've set up a system. Okay, the whole concept of this Sicarii is it being implacable, not being under order on how the process of Yahweh Shai would want it to be. You don't want to believe in Paul because you want to believe in certain of Paul letters because you want to do certain things. You know, even though the church requires it, but you still want to be a part of the church though. You want to teach with your hats on and operate in certain lights, but at the same time be a prophet. So you're not off, but you're on, and you become inventors of evil things, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on, and it could fool some, but it's not going to fool the prophets, man. Okay? So we go to Proverbs chapter 20, 24, 21. It says, my son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. All right? And we've all read that before, but when you go into that word, given to change, see here, where we're at Proverbs 24 and 21. All right, Proverbs 24, 21, it says, my son, okay, fear thou not to those who are given to change. And that word is shawanayim. All right. It says to repeat, to do again, change, alter, to change, to repeat, to be repeated, to change, alter, to disguise oneself. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And it's like a chameleon. And that's what he did when he's in front of Apostle Tahar. He's one way to do what? To say, okay, I was out there with y'all. I was doing this. And we was cordial. Woo, woo, because you was cordial. All right? And Jake knew what to say. He got around Sinetta. It was a whole different thing. And then he get in another position. He changes like the wind. He changes like the moon. Okay? And it says, that's what it says. Meddle not with them that are given to change, and people there to disguise themselves to blend into. He's an opportunist. He's a capitalist. Okay? You can see one when they're operating. We just don't have no definite evidence and all that. But you can see it. You can smell it from a mile away, man. So I want to get this definition before we close out as the AI overview of the word conformist. It says a person who goes along to get along is often called a conformist. Someone who readily adapts to the prevailing norms or opinions of a group, even if they don't fully agree, simply to avoid conflict and maintain social harmony. Okay? And why would you need the social harmony? Because you have a contract. All right? You have to be in league. It's like battle rappers. You can see all this and see all that, but you just can't touch me. So y'all can argue and act like y'all have y'all differences, but you can't do certain things and mess up the bread. You can't sit here and say certain things to get things demonetized. Okay? So you've been compromised. And it's easy to see. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. These guys, he's a conformist, But yeah, with that being said, give our praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakal Kadash, double honors to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. Shalom.